What up? Thank you for tuning in to the Región Tejano podcast. So, for tonight's podcast, I just want to talk about some of the things that's really on my mind and some of the things that I really, really, really hate. And if you've ever been to Houston, one of the things that you're gonna notice is I hate traffic. The traffic here sucks. 45 is always packed. It takes you 40 minutes to get anywhere. The streets are filled with potholes. I mean, our transportation system sucks. It's getting better, but it really sucks. I mean, we grew like I remember back in like 2005, we had like maybe 4, maybe 5 million people in the area. Now we're at 7. It grew a lot. There's a lot of people that moved to the city, and a lot of out of towners always point out that man, our public transportation really isn't all that good. And I'm not gonna lie, I agree with them. Growing up, I had to rely on public transportation to get to school. I used to take the metro to intermediate. I used to take it to high school. For like in high school, sometimes like I had to go from my dad's house to my mom's house, so I would walk all the Edgebrook from Old Galveston Road in Edgebrook all the way down to the academy on I-45 and Edgebrook. Then I would catch the 88 bus just to make it to the house. And then from once it dropped me off at the hospital, I had to walk like another mile to get to the house. So I mean, I had to walk like maybe 3, 4 miles just to get to the bus stop, and then the bus took me like a mile from my house. So I mean, that's one of the things that really sucks about being in Houston is like our public transportation really isn't all that good. So because our public transportation really isn't all that good, I really kind of decided to come up with a plan. Like, man, what can the city really do to make it better? And in doing so, I saw like a lot of things that I've always known, but I was like, man, how come we don't do that here in Houston? And I've also thought of some things that kind of like that other cities do that has been really successful. So in doing so, one of the first things I really want to talk about is really in my side of town. When you look at the system map of Metro, you will see that not just on my side of town, the southeast side, but in other parts of town too. Like it's especially if you're farther away from downtown, there really isn't a lot of service. It's kind of like sparse. It's like kind of spread out, like wherever the service is. So on my side of town, there's really like one bus that takes you to the airport, and then for the airport, there's a couple other buses that you can take to kind of get around. But you look at big streets, like busy streets, like Telephone Road, Mikawa, Belfort. There really isn't that many buses. There's no buses that really go down, especially if you're close to the Beltway. So one of the first things I really thought was that man, we need to service this area because this is an area that when you go down to that area, you're gonna see apartments, you're gonna see a lot of trailer parks, and you're gonna see a lot of people with not a lot of money, people that really need public transportation, people that would ride public transportation. And I think it's a shame that those people don't have the services that they need to really get around the town. Like if you don't have a car in the city, you're out of luck, and that's one thing that really sucks. And I think that's one thing that really holds a lot of families back when we ask what can people do to get out of poverty. I really think public transportation is one way that people could get out of poverty. So I really think that servicing the southeast side and other parts of town too that really don't have as much service, but specifically the southeast side, I think that would be one huge step to really bettering our situation. Now, when I was thinking about this stuff, I actually looked at one of the cities that really does a good job, and the best city in the world in public transportation is Hong Kong. What they do in Hong Kong is that the metro over there makes so much money that they actually make the taxes cheaper for average people in Hong Kong. Like they don't have to pay as high taxes because their public transportation system is really so good. It actually makes money. Now, one of the way that it makes money is that their public transportation actually owns land. So because they own land, they can develop it, rent it out to people, and then they can make a train or a bus route to go there to make sure that people go to those businesses, so that way those businesses can make money and they can pay their rents, and then their public transportation system can make money. So if Houston was to do that, I think that would be definitely thinking outside of the box, and I think that's definitely something we should do. I mean, I know they might have to use eminent domain on some of this area, but there's a lot of empty lots in neighborhoods where people aren't willing to invest. You look at the food deserts that we have, and there's a lot of food deserts on the south side, on the east side. They got a lot of food deserts. These are areas that probably could use, the city to buy the land, build a grocery store, maybe build some apartments on top of it to kind of, make money off the rents too, because everybody's trying to be live closer to downtown. We keep getting more people moving to the city. If they're to build like, kind of like the HEB that they build in the Heights area, which is an HEB and above it is like apartments. If they were to do that, even in some of the low income neighborhoods, I think people would buy those areas. I mean, people would rent in those areas. If the South Side, one of the things about the South Side is it's close to the medical center. It's really not that far from the medical center. It's prime real estate. I think that's why everybody wants to gentrify there. Same thing with the East Side. They want to gentrify that area too because it's so close to downtown. Now, also, the city should definitely do that. I think I'm with it. I'm with them renting it out because I'm outside town. I drive around. I see a lot of closed up businesses. Everybody talks about that. Everybody wants to move to Houston. There's a lot of businesses that, if you didn't know better, man, you think you were like in Detroit or something because it's like just dead businesses. If you go by Almeda Mall, it looks like a dead area. I remember one time I was riding a bus and the girl that was with me, she said, "Man, our neighborhood's dying." And she's kind of right. Like a lot of the money has really left my neighborhood, my area, and I think if Metro was to really invest in that area, I think it could come back. And by AMC 30, all those restaurants that used to be right by there on the one on the 45 and the Beltway, a lot of those businesses are just empty. So I think it would be cool if people were to develop that area and just kind of like, you know, make money off of that. And if Metro makes a bus that goes down there, that would be awesome. That would be good. That would be something that the city could really use. So I think that's a plan that I think the city should do. I'm with it. I wish they would do it. So hopefully, one thing that we need to do is just to keep emailing people and let them know like the people that work for Metro or city councilmen and let them know that we're with that and maybe that's something they should look into to make our city a better city. Another thing that we could do to alleviate traffic is to let people have businesses in their houses. Like when I go to Mexico, everybody, like almost on every street there's a little corner store on every street that's in somebody's house. And I look at the way our houses are made here in Houston where we have a big garage. Like how come we can't have a bodega, like open up the garage and kind of open up kind of like a bodega like in New York, like just put some of the stuff outside every day and then push it inside whenever they're ready to close. I think that would be something cool. And if we were to do that, that would be awesome. I know the big problem would be the homeowners association, but I really think the city should pass a law to tell the homeowners association to allow people to build a business, especially with the coronavirus killing off a lot of businesses. I think that would be a way that people could really bounce back, kind of get their business back. And I think it'll be perfect. Like, yo, let us own a business in my house. Like, if I want to rent it out to somebody who wants to put a little tienda here, I'm with it. They can open up a paleta shop, an elote shop, whatever they need to do. I'm with them doing that in the garage. Haircut place inside of the garage. I think they should definitely do that. I think, and maybe they can, charge a permit, and that permit can go to Metro, so Metro can do better services. Another thing that I've noticed that Metro doesn't do is that they don't really let people sell at the Metro stops. Like I was saying, hey, sell a permit and have people set up shop at the bus terminals, at the transit centers, at the parking rides, on the rail lines. I think that would be dope. Sell a permit to the paleta lady or the elote lady. Yo, while I'm waiting for my Metro to come, I can need a paleta or something, or somebody selling USB cords, because Lord knows everybody needs like a battery charger when they're riding the bus, because everybody's phone tends to die. So I think, opening up little stores, little food carts, kind of by like at the Metro stops, or somebody who sells like things that people are gonna need, like a little newsstand, and then sell a couple of stuff. I think letting people to buy the permit and set up shop there, I think that would be something that could really help a lot of families out. Same thing with letting people open up businesses inside of their houses. If you're telling me that I can use my house and rent out the garage to a business, I could probably charge them like $300. That's cheaper than what they're gonna pay over there, maybe more. Maybe I'll charge them $700 or $500. That's cheaper than what they're gonna be paying in like a in a different location, like one of those business locations. So I think that's something we should do. And Houston's already a city that's known for no zoning. We don't have any zoning here in the city, and I think we should get back to our roots of no zoning. Let people open up little family bodegas inside of the garages, and I think a lot of families could really kind of like that would really help out a lot of people. I think that's something that the city really needs and that people are gonna need because coronavirus is killing off businesses. There's a couple bars by my house that already closed down. A couple haircut places. I don't think they're gonna make it. So definitely, I'm with people. Thinking outside of the box to kind of bounce back. I mean, Houston's known as hustle town, and I think we need to get back to it. I think we need to get back to our hustling roots and kind of get back to it. And you look at Mexico. Every neighborhood in Mexico has a little corner store on every street. You know, it works for them. People walk. If you're telling me I don't have to drive to the corner store, I could just walk there. Number one, that's gonna make me healthier because I'm actually walking more. Number two, I'm causing less air pollution because I'm not driving around everywhere. Number three, that's one less car on the road, so that's less traffic. If there's a haircut place in my like down the street from my house, you better believe I'm not gonna be, driving around doing that. I'm just gonna walk over there, ride my bike over there. So I really think that that the city should let people have businesses in their houses. It's really gonna help us out, and I really think that can help stop some of the gentrification. One of the reasons why people gentrify is because they like the convenience of being by downtown. People want to feel like they're in New York. Well, if you're letting people in the suburbs open up stores inside of their neighborhoods, you know, they don't have to go to downtown to get that experience. They can get that in their own neighborhood. You don't have to be close to downtown just to get that experience. And I think that could really help stop some of the gentrification that kind of displaces people. Or it could just, make the city a little better so gentrification wouldn't be, so that people wouldn't be hurt as bad by gentrification. So those are some of my ideas. I think we should kind of do kind of like what Hong Kong does and really help out the neighborhoods, especially my neighborhood, the southeast side. I'm talking about like Almeda Mall area, like over here by Almeda Genoa, that whole area. So we really need to help that area out. That's definitely a place that we really need to look into investing a little bit. And I'm with the city doing something like that. So, like I said, the city really needs to do that. Our public transportation isn't all that good, and we should be able to do it better. And I think we can do it better and not have to raise taxes. Because I know that's the biggest criticism everybody says is, I don't want to raise taxes. Well, there's a plan that you can do that you don't have to raise taxes. If they were to buy some of the businesses by Almeda Mall, which the 88 bus already goes down right there by Almeda Mall, that's gonna bring people to those businesses. The Metro Rail is already gonna go down to Hobby Airport. For Hobby Airport, they could take the 88 bus down to like the Almeda Mall area, or stop right there on Fuquay and Sabo, and they could just walk to AMC 30 or some of those areas. The city should invest that and kind of do what Hong Kong does, reroute some of their services so that they make sure that their investment is getting people to go by there so that they can make that money. So, like I said, I'm really for Metro doing that. I think Houston should be a better city, and I'm doing it because I love my city. Our city's going through a lot of growing pains. This coronavirus really hurt the city. The oil and gas industry has taken a hit. And I know a lot of people are out of work and they're thinking of ways to kind of make some of that money. And I think the city doing this is really going to help our city. It's going to help our people out because, one of the reasons why our city is so strong is that a lot of people who didn't go to college or didn't graduate, a lot of them were able to find good jobs in the oil and gas industry. And now that the oil and gas industry is taking a hit, you have a lot of families looking for other ways to make ends meet. In the future, they're trying to automate truck driving. There's a lot of truck drivers in Houston. That's going to hurt our economy even more. So we really need to start thinking of the future, start planning like, hey, what can we do? and like I said, letting people, kind of hustle, like sell businesses, and I mean by hustle, I mean like create a business, like, and try to make a living off their own business, be an entrepreneur, Oh, and another thing, if there's a local business down the street from my house, I'm not gonna go to Walmart. I'm gonna support the local business on my street if they're cool. Like if the person's like a jerk and they're always yelling at me, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go spend my money on the next street. You get what I'm saying? But you know, for the most part, I'm gonna support people in my neighborhood, people in my street. I'm gonna support La Comadre down the street. That has a little tienda selling dulces or sodas or whatever. I mean, that's something that we really need to think about, and that could really stop a lot of these big corporations from having a monopoly or a stronghold on the city. Because right now they control everything because you have to go to those places. Well, you let people have little bodegas, like little stores where you can get your groceries. I don't have to go to those big stores anymore. I mean, they might charge more to look place down the street, but yo, that's my neighbor. I mean, I don't mind charging. I don't mind if they charge me $1 more. I'll just go right there. It's down the street from the house. I don't have to go grocery shopping and spend $100 every day. I can just go every day and just get what I'm gonna use. If I'm just gonna cook tortillas, I'll just go buy tortillas that day. Tortillas and maybe something to drink. I don't have to go to a store and buy, $150 worth of groceries every week. I can just go there and just buy maybe $20 a day or $5. Whatever I'm gonna eat, I'll just buy that for the day. Kind of like they do in Mexico, and that's something that we really need to do. And I would love for us to kind of get back to that. So yeah, this is just me talking about the things I want from my city. This is the Regio Tejano podcast. I got more episodes coming soon. If you want to be a guest, just hit me up. Follow me on my Instagram at Regio Tejano on Instagram. And yeah, man, everybody take care. Everybody be safe. Later.